Good morning, ni hao. How do you say good morning? You already speak Chinese. Why are you here? I want to say good morning to you. My name is Earl Ingram, and I serve as the Chief Academic Officer for the university. And the STARTALK program is an area, it's a grant that falls within the academic affairs. You probably know this, but to make sure that everybody has the same understanding that I do, in 2006, President Bush, the first President Bush, nope, that would be the second President Bush, signed into law an initiative that identified certain languages around the world as being critical languages, important to the national security and the strategy of national security for the United States. And Chinese was one of those languages. So the whole idea here is that we are developing within the United States a capacity to communicate in what is a critical world language. That means you're going to be leaders. Now, you're not the first group that's come through here. Some of you have been here before, though. Okay? You back because it was fun or because you didn't learn anything the first time? Fun. Okay. This is our 5th time for doing the STARTALK Chinese language program on the Troy campus. And we think it's a very important part of what we do. We like to think of Troy University as being Alabama's international university. So we look for a variety of ways with a variety of groups of students, younger, older, very young, very old, that allows us to develop within the university an internationalization dimension. It's in the faculty we employ, it's in the students we attract, it's in the programs we design, and then those that are just outside of the normal programs, and that's where this would face. Now, this doesn't happen very easily. It's a very competitive program. You've met Dr. Xu, you've met Dr. Feng. They are the tip of the spear as far as the team that has developed our proposal and our continued work with STARTALK. But it takes a team. And you will meet some of those individuals during the week. You may have met some already. But the leader of the team and the person who puts most of the mass behind that spear is our chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr. Dr. Hawkins came to the university as its chancellor in 1989. And since that time, I don't think there has been anybody at this university, there's not been anybody truly in this state, probably in this region, that has been as strong a proponent for internationalizing higher education as Dr. Hawkins. And it's that kind of interest and support that makes programs like this work. So Dr. Hawkins, may I ask that you come forward and bring greetings to STARTALK teachers and students for this, the 5th year of Troy University's STARTALK.
Thank you so much, and it is a real pleasure for me to welcome all of you to Troy, or welcome you back to Troy, as the case may be. The last time I saw Dr. Ingram was a week ago in Xi'an, China. So it's nice to see him again. I had to come all the way to the States in order to see him, but we were there doing business on behalf of the university. We held a graduation ceremony, and then we went on and had an exciting meeting in Xi'an where the terracotta warriors are buried. And I'm pleased to tell you that hopefully within the next couple of years, you won't have to go to Xi'an to see terracotta warriors. You will see a display on this campus that will be an exciting addition for all Americans who have such a great interest in what is considered to be the eighth wonder of the world. I think it's so important. As I was listening to Dr. Ingram reflect on these years, I was carried back to a time when I was just a little older than most of you, and it was when I started college in 1963. And at that time, the focus was on the Romance languages. Very few would even think at that time of the relevance of speaking Mandarin. And my goodness, how the world has changed in more than a half century, how it has changed in the last 25 years. Dr. Ingram talked about my arrival here in 1989, now more than a quarter century ago. At that time, we had 40 international students on this campus. Today we have, when you go into the dining facility, you will see quite a number of flags, but we now have 76 countries represented on this campus. And if you count those flags, you'll notice that there are too few flags for the countries represented. I'm often reminded by those students who look for their flag that their flag may not be there, and that's how quickly our student population has changed. I'm also understanding that we have had graduates from the STARTALK program to come back to Troy to study with us. I want all of you to know that we would love for you to join us. I know that we have 14 states represented among the students here, and 8 states represented among the faculty. And so it's a real honor for us to have this time with you, and we hope you enjoy Troy while you're here. You are working with some remarkable professionals. I know all of our staff would be categorized as remarkable, but I would single out Dr. Xu and Dr. Fong as really remarkable faculty, and I appreciate both of them so much. I must tell you that we recruited Dr. Xu here to head up our Confucius Institute immediately after it was named Confucius Institute in October of 2007. We, along with, actually, if you're with the governor, I guess you're with the governor, he's not with you. So we were with the governor of our state in October of 2007 when the announcement was made that Troy University would host the Confucius Institute for the state of Alabama. And since Dr. Xu began to provide leadership, that program has extended all over the state and has begun really to do some remarkable things on behalf of the people of Alabama. So please know that we are grateful to have you here. I would say to you that this experience, particularly for the students, but also for the faculty who are committed to teaching additional students, this is an investment in the future, because the relationship that we see growing with China brings two major powers of the world together. I think we would be less than intelligent not to work together, because the people of the world are coming together. Our philosophy here since 1989 has been very simple, and that is understanding comes first, and then you appreciate. If you understand people from other cultures, then you begin to appreciate people from other cultures. And then relationships, meaningful relationships, are then forged. And so I think that's the essence of our future. We're coming together as a global village. If you haven't read Tom Friedman's book, The World is Flat, let me encourage you to read that book. I remember in one of my trips to China, and I've had the pleasure of going to China more than 15 times, many of those times with Dr. Ingram. But on that trip in 2005, I picked up a book. I'd heard about Tom Friedman's book, The World is Flat. And when I was at the airport in Atlanta, I picked up a copy of that book, and I read it going and coming to China. And when I returned home, I asked my secretary to order a box of those books. And we passed out to members of our cabinet a copy of The World is Flat. And the essence of that book was that the forces of the world are coming together. And if you think about the power of technology today, then you see how small our world is becoming. And so when you bring those economic forces together with technology, then it does create a level playing field. I was reminded of that level playing field not long ago when I was on a trip and my luggage didn't arrive when I arrived. And before I finished finding my luggage, I talked with a young man who was working in a call center based in India. The world is flat, and I think all of us will do well to get to know each other in this global village, because it'll be that world that all of you will live in and be part of. And so if you're going to be a citizen of the world, you have to understand some things. I was in South Africa a number of years ago and was reminded of the great work of Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela once made the comment, he said, to talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But talk to him in his own language, and that goes to his heart. You know, so it's of special meaning, I think, when we learn to communicate with each other. You have a wonderful opportunity to do that. We're delighted that you're in Troy. We want you to come back. To the members of the faculty, we hope that you'll find the occasion to come back. But I really applaud all of you for taking this very, very important step, personally and professionally, as you attempt to learn another person's language. So have a great time at Troy. We'll consider you all to be Trojans. That's what we are at Troy. So once you study here, you'll always be a Trojan. So come back, and come back soon. Thank you so much.
Let's give them a huge applause as they are leaving us for the endeavors. Thank you, Dr. Hawkins, and thank you, Dr. Ingram. My name is Ray Feng, and I'm the program director of STARTALK program at Troy University. We call it TROY-STARTALK, and then we add a year. This is TROY-STARTALK 10, 2015. Okay. As you pick up the information here and there, you know that this is our 5th year of STARTALK consecutively, starting in 2011. And this is the 4th year of each of the programs for the students and for the teachers, because we missed some 1 year or the other. The program has been deemed very successful by all of the site visitors and our team leaders. So we need to thank all of you as participants, and also we need to thank our chancellors as well, Dr. Hawkins and Dr. Ingram. And then specifically, we need to thank Confucius Institute and all the staff here that have been working so far, not single-handedly, but mainly with the STARTALK program. They helped everything because they gathered all the materials, have them prepared the food, have them moved over here and there, and the water and everything. So let's give them an applause as well. Mr. Chen is from Carolina. So He was our first year's site visitor, evaluated our program, and we thought he's an insider, knowing about the program. Could be that he will give us some advice how to develop the program better. So we recruited him. So he's our instructional lead, meaning he's reviewing our programs, what's in, what's out, what's not, what's to be changed. Let's thank him as well. Okay, for this year's program, we, as required by STARTALK, we always try to make some changes. Teachers are required before the program to read an article each day for 7 days and submit to me 250 or 300 words, their own review reflections. I'm sorry, but you have to do that. And students will not have too much changes compared with the other year. If you were here, we reduced the classroom hours since last year for about 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, so that you can have more activities, mainly interactions with native Chinese speakers. You can talk about, ask any questions, weird, not weird, but there's only one requirement, which is you have to think and speak Mandarin only. Okay? I think that's about it. Other than that, you are coming from grand names like Lamp School, coming from well-educated families, and we checked your transcripts and everything. You are superb. That's why we hope you will be the leaders in the future language programs, Chinese or otherwise. Okay, so I think that's about my speech. If you have questions for me. No? Okay. Then we'll move on to introduce some of the videos we did earlier, and you just enjoy it a little bit, see why, probably you can see why we've been deemed the one of the best programs in the United States. And just to share with you, I think we covered over half of the 50 states in the United States already. Nearly 30 teachers, students combined. So that's a good sign, okay? So, 开拓一。 we can never say thank you enough. The gentleman that counted your hands at the beginning, Mr. Charles Frank Jones II, he came to Confucius this year. He was with Confucius Institute for less than a year, but he is helping a lot. And he traveled a lot as well, probably not of the country, but at least to different places. So he's pretty much nationwide minded, okay? So if you have questions, you can ask him. He's traveling around. He's traveling around to pick up the people coming here to work with us or teach us. So, and also Kyle, Mr. Kyle Bozeman and his people. His people has been with us since day one, 5 years ago. And his most joke that cracked my mind is, well, we are the only people that are allowed to say, yes, we shot the president. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, that's a wonderful joke. Yeah, that they are the only people they can say that. We cannot say that, right? Usually, yeah. I use this example as an example of language use. Some of the language you cannot use freely everywhere, only when you are in a specific profession. Okay, right? Understand that, right? Yes. Okay. All right, and now we prepared a speech by our teacher. She was with Confucius Institute for about 2 years now, I think, and she was working hard for last year's STARTALK program, and she's very much familiar with the students. She read your dissertation, right? Writings, transcripts, everything. Okay, so let's welcome Ms. Ting Xiong.
Good morning, everyone. I think that we met each other yesterday, right? We know each other, and so I needed to introduce myself to you first of all. Well, it's my great honor to be able to stand here to speak on behalf of the teacher program trainees. As I have told you yesterday, I am one of the coordinators of the TROY-STARTALK student program and also a participant of the TROY teacher program. Last year, I was just a coordinator, and this year, in a dual role. Okay, I'm so pleased to meet all of you on such a beautiful campus in the south, and I'm sure you've already overwhelmed by the great hospitality of the Trojans, as I was a few years, 2 years ago. As for STARTALK program, I have never heard of it until 2013 when Dr. Xu gave me an interview. Afterwards, I checked the website of the TROY-STARTALK program. I was so intrigued by it, and I watched all the videos of the TROY-STARTALK program which I could find on the internet. I was so impressed that the students who had no background of learning Chinese language before or did not know anything about Chinese culture could really start to talk in Chinese, and then learned how to ask directions and how to order food at a restaurant. They even learned how to bargain with the vendors in Chinese. Okay, it was so amazing. They were the real stars of the STARTALK program. Yet I know their outstanding performance is inseparable from the teachers' conscientious efforts. By that time, I decided that I would become a Chinese teacher. I'm so thrilled that this year, I finally got the admission ticket to the TROY-STARTALK teacher program. Last year, I was just a coordinator. I was so busy, and I did not have time to go inside the classroom to order the classes. That was a pity, but this year I want to make it up. So this year, I'm a full participant. I could learn with the most knowledgeable professors and teachers, and also keep myself well informed about the standards and the principles of teaching a foreign language, in particular, how to teach Chinese here in the United States. I could not wait to learn with all my classmates. share their enlightening and rich teaching experience, and also practice what I wonder in class into teaching the best StarTalk students that we ever have had. I'm sure all of you will share my excitement about this wonderful program and would seize every possible opportunity to learn with the remarkable teachers, all of whom have had over 20 years of teaching experience in North America. This sort of professional development is far and few even in the United States. I wish you all enjoy your learning and studying here and enjoy your time at Troy. Thank you.
Oh, I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. How many of you have a banjo? You don't? I actually had one in the 70s, and I learned this song much, much earlier than I know where Alabama is. Okay, so this is it. I would say it's beautiful, very warm, lots of bugs, different from Canada where I came from. Snows will kill a lot of bugs anyway. But it's a beautiful place. You will enjoy it here. And each year we also prepare a student speech for a student to give us your hopes, your pledges, what you have in mind, what you would expect that you learn. And we have Samara Doer.
Ni hao. Again, my name is Samara, and this is my second year coming to TROY-STARTALK. And I'm really excited to be back, and I especially look forward to the cultural dances. Last year, I decided to join this program mainly to experience how to use the Chinese language in daily life. I was surprised to be accepted because I was only going to the 8th grade. Yet, in the short amount of time I was here, I learned much more than that. I came to know about the Chinese culture, such as paper cutting, board games, music, and last but not least, food. Because the Chinese language, like all languages, is challenging and complex, I decided to attend TROY-STARTALK again this year. This program has not only greatly improved my Chinese, but also has encouraged me to further explore other languages and even consider a future career in translation or linguistics. Besides these reasons, I formed strong friendships with all the teachers and students. I hope to continue in these relationships as I continue to create a strong relationship with the Chinese language. I believe Chinese will greatly impact our future by allowing us to communicate and understand a whole new society. 谢谢.
Thank you, Samara. And then, as usual, we also ask our teacher, one of the teachers, to give us a speech. Mr. Chung is from Carolina. I don't know if north and south, I'm bad at geography. But anyway, the world is flat. So Mr. Chen is an experienced teacher and certified teacher in the United States with many, many years of experience in teaching English, the second language, and Chinese. Mr. Chen?
Good morning, 大家好. As proposal reader and program evaluator of StarTalk program, I'm very proud to say Troy University StarTalk program is one of the best in the nation. This success due to the support from the university. Troy University is one of the few universities that gave StarTalk program full support. This success also due to the program director, Dr. Xu and Dr. Feng. This program lasts only 15 days, but they start to work on this program as early as in September. They have to write proposal to get accepted by the federal government. As soon as the program has been approved, they start to think about the curriculum and planning all the activities, such as orientation, and also from the small things like your name tag and your dormitory, and also other things. So I would say thanks to those two teachers who worked so hard for this program continuously for the 5 years. This also because of the support from and hard work of the teachers in Confucius Institute. Every year, they work hard to help our students to support everything, whatever we need. Those teachers work so hard. This is my 5th year coming back to Troy University. My first time came here as an evaluator. The reality proved that my prediction of Troy University, Alabama is wrong. As time goes on, my impression and personal emotion about Troy University and Alabama getting deeper and deeper. I start to love this place. I start to love the people at Troy University. That's why I come back every year. And also, I would like to say congratulations to our students and also our teacher trainees. You got accepted by the program. For this year, we have over 60 applicants, and we can only take 24 students. Because your excellence, because your teacher's recommendation, because your great report, we choose a few. You are the best. So I really hope that everybody try to make good use of this opportunity. Work hard, realize your potentials. For this year, we will try our best to prepare you to learn the language and culture. Continuously for the continued activity of this program, next year in March for spring break, we would invite some students to go to China to create an opportunity for you to use the language in the real environment. So let's work hard together, make this program successful again. Thank you.
There's one person I would like to mention as well, Ms. Sonia Su. And she is our coach of dancing. I don't know how many dances she can teach. At least I know she can teach dragon dance and the line dance. And she was playing the other thing, I don't even know what it's called, the other day. Maybe you're going to teach that too, right? And she's been with us for 2 years, and thank you very much, Sonia. And then we'll have the director of Confucius Institute, Dr. Iris Xu, talking about China trip. You all have a chance to join China trip, visiting China for about 7 to 10 days. It's all free except airfare. We'll hear more details from Dr. Xu. thank you time again for the Confucius Institute people, not the trainers, not the coaches. Okay, can you please stand up? Let us see your face. Confucius people, please, please, please. They will be the people that are working with us most of the time. If you have anything, any questions, the routine kind of thing, just ask them, and they will help. And we have some coaches. Sit down, please. Thank you very much. And we have some coaches other than Sonia, and we have Lee, right? Okay, yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. Okay, yeah. They will be teaching you dances, various dances that I don't know what. I don't even know the names or something. Yeah, so some activities, dances. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. And we also have a computer, call it a guru, yes, if you like. Ning. Where's your Ning now? Right here, Rosie. He will be taking care of more of the technical stuff, the computers, internet, PowerPoint presentation, videos as well. And the other gentleman, Charles Frank Jones II, will also do something very much similar. And we have quite a few camera ladies. One, that's a cameraman. Okay. And then a lot of helpers as well. So I figured out, and together with Mr. Bozeman, Kai's group, behind each person, each of us, there are about 10 people supporting us. So that is how the program is running. All right? Okay, a lot of supplementary information, so don't say they are lying. No, they're not lying, about China trip. You pay your airfare, that's the bulk part of the payment, and you also pay, for example, visa fee. You need to apply for a visa, right? You need to pay that. If your parents are willing to pay you zillions of dollars for your insurance, go ahead. That's another thing you need to pay, right? Just the international travel, regular stuff, you know that. So that's not included, not covered, okay? And then we'll wrap up this opening ceremony. And for the next hour or so, maybe half an hour, we'll have a tour of the campus, especially Confucius Institute, and the equipment and the whatever they were doing there that is supporting the Chinese language, culture, education. Okay? If you have no questions, any questions? No? No? Hope not. When I speak English, you see that I make mistakes, confusing him and her, and he and she, yes? Did you notice that? Okay, when you learn Chinese, you don't make that mistake, because in Chinese, the same pronunciation. That's the good part. Thank you.